brand new Jayco Eagle Premier 37BH FS just came in here at Haylett Auto and RV of Coldwater, Michigan. And every one of these, I continue to be a little more impressed. They keep making, you know, small little tweaks and updates and changes that make them even a little bit more attractive. One of the more recent things is they redesigned the nose cap, and it just looks beefy and awesome. And they added in these fun little LED marker lights here, and those are primarily just cosmetic, but buddy, they look cool. A big rig like this, we always like to upgrade to a MORryde pin box, and I really can't recommend you do not go with this option. What it is inside of here there's these big rubber dampeners, so as the trailer, you know, chocks back and forth, those rubber dampeners are going to soak up some of that, so that extra kinetic energy is not transferred into the truck, and you know, it won't throw you around the rig as a result. It's also a lot easier on your truck's brakes and tires and suspension and frame and everything else. So that hitch upgrade there is something that pays you back in spades. Very few products in this category offer the 2-year warranty. Jayco does it on everything across the board because of their superior quality and construction. And I'm zooming in here because if you look, you can see the reflection of trailers behind me. This is true high gloss gel coat, very high-end type stuff. This is vacuum laminated construction. You know, your sidewalls, your rear wall, the sides of the slide outs are vacuum laminated. A lot of people do not insulate their slide outs, even in this price bracket, believe that or not, it's true. So it's nice to have that lamination there. Otherwise, it's basically like having, from a thermal standpoint, a giant hole in the side of your trailer that's just spilling out all your heat and cold air. I always like to look in here because this is a good spot to show you. They don't use OSB in here. You see, it's aluminum framework, it's all plywood construction. This stuff is made to last. That's just another reason it has double the warranty. You notice they don't use carpet here in the basement storage area. If you've owned one of these, then you know. You know, you have your toolbox and your lawn chairs. When you're packing up in the morning, there's dew on everything. You throw them in here, and then that water sits here and it stagnates because the air can't exchange, and then it molds. You don't have that problem with this. It's easy to clean, and it helps keep cargo from shifting around. You notice we have not one but 2 of these big struts holding up this door. That's because this door is fairly heavy, and it's because it's fully laminated and insulated. If this wasn't insulated, again, all of your hot air would just spill right out of it. And easy slam latches, just like you'd have on a bus. While we're moving this way, I like to point out they finally figured out they need to bring the speakers down to ground level, because this is where you're listening, instead of mounting them up high on the trailer. Fully insulated for cold weather camping, and that also extends to more efficiency in hot weather camping. So this is made for pretty much any season you could throw at it. If it's negative 40 wind chill and we've got another one of these polar vortex situations, you know, you may struggle a little bit, but again, a little bit of supplementary heating should take care of you. Full outdoor kitchen. Now, we've supplemented this with the bumper mounted grill system, so you have both a true grill and the little kitchenette here. This is one of the more upscale kitchenettes I've seen. We have not only Dad's medicine cabinet, which is my favorite part here. My grandparents, I went camping with them. We always had the green Coleman cooler by the back bumper, and it was always drinks and bathroom. That's why we're in and out of the camper all the time. Get a drink, you know, and go to the bathroom. And we have drinks right there, and we have a second entry door to a little half bath right next to the bunkhouse right here. So you don't have to track dirt through your coach. It's a lot simpler, easier that way. You notice they also include a nice little microwave here, and they mount it on a bias just to give it some shape and some character. Everything tends to be real straight and you know, super defined. It reminds me of like cars in the 80s got really boxy and bland, and Jayco is one of the first RV manufacturers I've seen that's trying to break away from that. And there is an outdoor TV set up here. This will include a TV in your outdoor kitchen because, you know, you're roughing it. You need a TV out here. Anyway, I do like to take a second to show you the drawers. Again, shop around. You'd be surprised what you find. This is true hardwood. That's my wedding ring, tanking off a real wood. And you can see that this is all plywood construction. There's not press board, there's no wraps here, and it is full extension, so you can reach every inch of that drawer pretty easily. Your suspension system, again, compare this to other people. You'd be surprised what you find. You saw the MORryde pin box. This is a MORryde suspension. The CRE 3000 allows each tire to operate at a varying vertical height, meaning if you hit like a railroad crossing or something like that, the tires can roll over it independently far more easily. Plus, you have these big rubber dampening systems in here that will do wonders to soak up even more of that jolts even before it gets to the pin box. So you literally have 2 levels of rubber dampening. And this being a bunkhouse, there's a lot of people coming and going, so they put a keyless entry system on here so that you don't have to make 40 keys and you don't have to have copies of your key floating around the campground, which is obviously a security concern. Now this color scheme, I think this is brownstone. All the names are kind of superficial. I have a hard time keeping up. But what I'm getting at is this is the darker leather touch. This may or may not be the color scheme of the trailer you're taking home. I come through the first one of these that comes through each season. I do a big stock video of it. And my goal here is to be informational and show you the way these things are laid out and the different things that make each trailer worth owning. So the trailer you're looking at, double check your color scheme. I take the time to list that. Oops, I lost the light there. And that way you know what you're taking home. I don't want there to be any confusion. Primary TV mounts right there above the fireplace that we added. This is an electric space heater, and these will do wonders toward knocking down the cold air in your coach without burning up all your propane. If you're not seasonal at some place, you're probably not paying metered electricity. So that's obviously very handy. And this is true hard surface countertops, and you'll see that through the whole coach. It'll match over here on the second chunk of the kitchen, and that is a true backsplash back there. That is not just a like a wallpaper. The 12 cubic foot refrigerator and freezer. This is again an option that we've put in here to maximize your cold storage capacity. We looked at a big trailer like this and said, you could be sleeping an absolute ton of people in here. You're going to want all that extra food storage space. Moving back to the bunkhouse section. It's really, I call it the bunkhouse section. It's almost a second living room. With the outdoor kitchen, it kind of pushes this bunk forward a little bit. But what you can do during the day, you can fold that up, it locks in place, and it kind of just opens access to a little toy chest, shoe storage area, whatever you want to call it. Your Jayco bunks are going to hold roughly about 50% more than most bunks in most RVs. Plus your bed mattresses by Denver Mattress, they're 50% thicker than just about anything else you're going to find out there. A lot of these bunk mats are wafer thin, and I guess the assumption is that kids are young and flexible and they don't care. And maybe that's true, but at the same time, it's nice to know that there's some value placed in your family here. Now the convertible cube futon, I've got that set up in 2 ways. It's 2 half sections. You can use them like a lounge or a sofa, like you see here during the day. At night, you can flip this open into something almost like a king bed. And during the day, you can flip this bunk up. Then at night, that bunk flips down and offers you an additional sleeping space if you need it. This wall is obviously outfitted for another TV back here. I believe that's a standard piece of equipment. Don't quote me on that. There's so many changes that go into these things every day. It's tough to keep up sometimes. Again, I mentioned you do have an extra little half bath right here. That is a true porcelain stool. Even the extra stool, they don't chintz and cut corners on. And you do have the nice privacy shade there, so you can use it for light or for privacy. And you're going to find all LED light fixtures through the entire coach. Not just in the ceiling, but even the little bunk marker lights are LEDs. Moving forward. Now, this is one of my favorite things of this floor plan, is the fact that you can get something like this with a big living room slide, a bed slide, and 2 bunk slides, but it's hard to find one that also include the recliners. Usually, mom and dad have to give up their comfortable sleeping spaces just to get that bigger bunkhouse, and with this Jayco, you do not have to do that. One more thing to point out here in the living area before I move on is the Whisper Quiet AC system. This is your cold air return. There's another matching vent on the other side of the roof here, and instead of having a visible air conditioner, what this does is that it removes about 90% of the volume that your air conditioner is going to have when it kicks on. Normally when your air system kicks on, it's very loud, and you have to really raise your voice. You don't have to do that here. The remote control system that is standard on all these Eagles is hands down the most reliable and easiest one to use I've found. You simply turn it on, decide what device you want to operate, like let's say the door side slide, then you just hit either extend or retract. Obviously it's not working right now because I don't have any power run to the unit. Up here in the bedroom, a couple things to point out is Jayco does leave storage space below their beds. Again, shocking how many fifth wheels do not. There is also a little safe down there. So if you have some things like watches or, you know, a phone or a wallet that you want to leave behind and go canoeing, you can do that. Big front wall-to-wall wardrobe closet. This closet has slatted inserts right there because this is washer-dryer prepped. Jayco finishes it off, so normally you don't see the washer-dryer prep construction in there. This is a very deep walk-in closet section over here. And you notice that the side windows on your slide outs of your Jaycos do open for cross ventilation. If you would notice right here too, you see how thin this is and how thick it gets here. The entire roof line of an Eagle Premier is barreled all the way through, not just the bedroom. It gives you maximum living area. It increases the roof sweep on the outside for structure and runoff purposes. And while we're looking at it, the second air conditioner that we add to these, you notice this is also centralized. Both air conditioners are centralized so that both air conditioners can help support the air cooling and airflow through the entire trailer. What's nice though is you have two thermostats. So instead of cooling your interior to the temperature that you want in the living room and then sweating to death in your bedroom at night, you can stay comfortable through the entire coach. That cost Jayco a couple extra bucks more, but can't you imagine, you know, what it would be like if you didn't have that there? Ask Mr. Haylett. He tried to go without the extra bedroom AC once, and they ended up bringing their bed into the living room floor of their trailer one year because it was just too darn hot. All the cold air went downhill, and it was cool down here, but hot in the living room, or bedroom, pardon me. There's a ton more things I could talk about, but I need to wrap this video up. So for more information, don't hesitate to give us a call. The number here is 800-256-5196. Haylett Auto and RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Thank you very much, and happy camping, everyone.